Watching my brother play Super Mario 64 on a long road trip because I was grounded. What the frick?
What's going on, YouTube? This is What Would Josh Do, and this is an exciting video to me. This is going to be on the Nintendo Switch, more specifically the N64 games on the Nintendo Switch. Now, I'm in my late 30s. I was definitely a 90s kid. I remember getting a Super Nintendo and then an N64, and oh my gosh, Super Mario 64, so much. 1080 snowboarding. I remember mastering the 1080 for the first time and freaking out. That sound the announcer made when you got a 1080. Oh my gosh. It was huge. I remember playing Diddy Kong Racing with my family. I remember playing Perfect Dark with my brother and sister, and they'd camp in a corner and you'd snipe him through the wall with the Farsight XR20. Memories that will always be with me forever. I just loved the N64 so much. And this company makes N64 controllers that are kind of modern and they're wireless. Now, they sent me these 4 boxes here. I don't know exactly what they sent me, so I don't know if these white boxes are different from these. So we're going to find out together. But I'm super excited about this because, oh, look at that. For use with Nintendo Switch or with the PC. It looks awesome, and I love the color because it brings me back to the normal default color of the N64. All right, and then they sent a freaking green one. Let's go. Oh, it looks green. The little thing says blue. That's so freaking exciting. It's kind of like an Xbox controller in a way, but it still is 64 because it's got the analog. It's got the, but it's so cool. I'm so excited. I'm literally like so we got an N64 in like 97, so I would have been like 12 or 13 at the time. Dude, I remember seeing someone put their TV out near their trash, and I would bring that bad boy in and power it up, and if it worked, I'd use it with my N64. I remember I had one that had to be in between channels 2 and 3 to get it to go to 3, so I could use the RF adapter and play my N64. Like, oh my gosh. One man's trash is another man's treasure. That is for sure. What? I didn't know they were sending me this. Okay. Interesting. Alright, so I'm guessing this is going to be the same thing. I never had a Dreamcast, dude. I remember being like 14 years old when this was being announced, or turning 14, and just like seeing how many polygons there were and how amazing the Dreamcast was going to be. But, you know, my parents didn't have the money to buy a Dreamcast, and I wish I would have been more of a go-getter, you know, like grab the lawnmower, cut some yards, earn the money myself, and go get a Dreamcast. Never had a Dreamcast, sadly, but I didn't realize they also made these, so Retro Fighters Dreamcast, so ABX. Dude, I might have to go play some Dreamcast games now. This is amazing. You got a turbo button, so you can do like, I know like Metal Slug, I absolutely love having turbo, so I can just hold down the button and it just fires rapidly. Let's go. That's sick. That's awesome. Now, this is my childhood right here. This is everything to me. So, it works with the Nintendo Switch and the PC like we already said. You've got your C buttons, your A and B buttons, your start. You've got home, which is good because you can go home on your Nintendo Switch. And then you've got like a minus button. And we'll see what else it has. Next generation N64 controller. Bluetooth wireless, compatible with Switch or PC. Specifically made for NSO. Features swapping feature. Swap between NSO button layout or Pro layout. So if you want to treat this as a Nintendo Switch Pro controller, you can do that. If you don't, want to use it as an N64 controller. Like if you're playing a modern game, that's pretty cool. So it'll treat like, these buttons as like ABXY or these as ABXY. Not quite sure how it works. And then obviously you won't have the right analog stick, but still, I love my Switch Pro controllers. I would just use that. And it looks like we already failed at opening, but that's cool. That's cool, whatever. We got this. Dude, N64, man. I remember like never having a PS1 and dogging on it like, haha, we can press start and the game loads instantly and I don't have to wait no stinking, Spyro loading screen for 5 minutes to start my level. Like, oh, dude. I remember the world's not enough. Oh my gosh. I got the expansion thing with Donkey Kong, and I remember like taking the expansion port out and like comparing the graphics and then putting it in and seeing how much better everything looked. Like, oh my gosh. I remember one of my best friends in life since 6th grade, because before that I lived in California, and I moved to Tennessee in 6th grade, and one of my best friends ever, to this day in fact, is Eddie. And I remember going to school and going like, man, I can't figure out how to get past this one part. This thing explodes and you have to like get on a zip line or something. And I'm like, I can't figure out how to get past it. And he's like, oh, you just jump on this thing and you go over here. And I get home from school and I'm like, now I finally beat this level that's been, oh my gosh, dude. The N64, it's just amazing. All right, we're going to use this power bank, or this power adapter, sorry. I'm going to plug it in. I'm going to plug in the controller. I just want to see if it's a slow charge or a fast charge, because most controllers charge at only like 2 or 3 watts. Okay, so it's just a slow little charge there. What if we try power delivery? Will it charge any faster using power delivery? Nope. Okay, let's let that charge up for a little bit, and then let's unbox the other one and see if we can not destroy this box. Like, I almost don't even want to throw away the box. Like, this is just such a cool thing to me. All right, so it wants us to charge for 2 hours before we use it for the first time. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and charge up this one too. And they're both kind of hanging out at almost 1.5 watt. So not quick charging for sure, but all right. I will pause this video and I'll be back when they're fully charged. It's currently what time is it? It's 11:12 according to my Nintendo Switch. All right, so we are back. It is like a couple hours later. This one's done charging. Also here it shows that we are at 0 watts for this one. And this one has slowed down to about half a watt or so. So since this one's done charging, let's let the other one finish up. And then also when it's done charging, the light just stops blinking. Like all 4 lights blink, letting you know it's charging, and then when it's done, it stops. It'd be nice if it knew how much of a charge it actually had. Like it displayed it there, like 1 is low, and then if you see 3 flashing, you're almost there. That'd have been nice, but whatever. Connect it from the USB-C cable to your PC, and it will connect via a wired connection. To switch to Pro Controller, simply hit the swap button, and if you hit the home button, it'll wake up your Nintendo Switch. And then here's the instructions. Make sure that Pro wired communication is turned off. Change the grip order, press the back pairing button for at least 3 seconds, and then connect it. Powering off, switching to the mode, press the back pairing button plus B at the same time, hold until the top and bottom LEDs are lit. To reset the entire gamepad, you just press the home button for 10 seconds to reset the gamepad. To increase the rumble, you press the plus button and the analog stick up to increase, and the minus button, analog stick down to decrease. Cool. So you can do macros too. Wow, that's crazy. So turn off LEDs, A, B, start. You can swap the ZL and ZR buttons. Looks like there's a little misprint there. Why aren't my C buttons working? And I'm assuming that's supposed to say you are in Pro Controller mode. You need to be in N64 mode. It says it'll last about 10 hours before you need to recharge. All right, so let's take a look at the controller. We've got the joystick here. We've got the home button, the minus button, D-pad, start, A, B, our C buttons. We've got L and R. We've got 2 Z buttons. So if you switch it to Pro Controller mode, this will be like Z left, and this will be Z right. L2, R2. Looks like we have a button here at the top, and then we also have another button. And then on the back, we've got a tiny little button for pairing. And then on the instructions, it tells you that button 19 is for swapping the top R button. 18 will take a screenshot. If you long press it, it should do a video. All right, let's turn on our Switch here. Let's hold down the pairing button. So I have my Pro wired connection on. I'm going to turn that off. I'm going to hold down this button. All right, it looks like it paired up the controller. So it shows N64. We have the little N64 icon. All right, so some 1080 that we were talking about earlier. Okay, so this button right here, it's gonna bring up the like suspend stuff there. So you can like create, let's do that. Let's just load. So this will be like the Z trigger at the bottom of the controller. And this will be like to suspend and stuff. This is so cool. So if we hold down this button here, we do our little Z button where we get kind of low to the ground and get a little bit faster speed. This is, and the motors are vibrating in this thing. This is so stinking cool. Yep. Oh, my hands are automatically wanting to reach for another joystick here. Just a habit. These Switch Pro controllers are extremely hard to find. I remember refreshing for days and days. I think weeks, maybe even more than a month. And one day I was at work and I hit refresh and it said add to cart. And I bought 2 of them. I have one and I gave away the other to a family member who loves playing N64 on a Switch, but didn't have a Pro controller. Not a Pro controller, but a N64 controller. So the cool thing about this is I could just restart the load. Yeah, so this is freaking awesome. This is freaking awesome. Let's go back to our game selection here. This just feels natural, man. I love it. Okay, so speaking of the actual N64 controller, this is it right here. So you've got your Z button on the back of it. This does not. And for us 90s kids, this is definitely the way we held it before with our button here and, you know, doing all this. We never really had to reach for that too often unless we did it like this, which this just doesn't feel natural. This right here is what I am used to. This feels good to me. What I do like about this is it just gives you better control of that L button and the R button up here. So it's more of like a standard today generation controller where everything is accessible much easier instead of 2 completely different ways of holding a controller and then wanting to reach for that button. Alrighty, this is friggin' awesome. Alright, so I want to test out the swap button. So pressing that, it goes into the searching thing. So I'm assuming now I need to go into... Okay, so yeah, so now it's going to show a standard controller. It's a little bit different. So there's like my jump. There's my hit. Oh, I play this on Steam mostly, so I don't have all the upgrades yet. So everything's working as normal. This is A and B, which is like here, this is B, this is Y. Yeah, so it's a little weird because now this is the run button. And this is like your roll, like to not roll, but your way to do like your emotes. So this would be like down. I can't remember. It's a little weird. All right, so here's a trusted Pro controller. So you would be like running and then jump and... All right, so I think this will give you the best idea here. So this is, of course, your joystick. This button, B, is making you jump. And then you want to run with the left C button. On here, B makes you jump. So it's taking B. Yeah, okay. And then Y is run, so that's this button here. And then X would bring up your little thing for choosing which emote you want to use, which is your down button for the C buttons. I mean, obviously, if this was your main controller, it would work. You would be able to use the C button to run and this button to jump, instead of like this where you hold Y to run and B to jump. So if this was your only option, you could definitely get used to it. It just, to me, it feels weird and not natural because I do have a Pro controller that I use every time I play my Switch. But this, for me, is going to be an N64 controller. So you press the swap feature, and then boom. course, now I only have B and... Thank you so much for watching. I love this thing. I'm pretty sure I'm going to use it more often than the actual N64 controller because it feels pretty freaking good. I do wish it had a turbo feature. That's my biggest thing, I guess. On PC, you can assign macros to the buttons, which is pretty cool. I will have a link to this in the description below if you want to buy some of these for yourself. These were sent to me for free. I'm not being paid to make this video, and they're not reviewing this video before I post it. If you want to play your favorite childhood N64 games, I highly recommend this controller right now. It feels really good in your hands. It's just awesome so far. So, I know I played this game. Which one did I do last? 19? Okay, it's this one. It freaking works just like you would expect it to. That's awesome. Oh, man. I never played this game as a kid. This is my first time playing it as an adult. But, if you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing. Please follow me on Twitter and Instagram. This is What Would Josh Do, and I'm out.